Hello, this is Joshua Balderas, and this is Help Desk, the final project for this semester. It is an application for both submitting requests and also viewing the different requests that are submitted for the specific technician. So I'm going to hit Submit Request here, and it's going to take us to this screen. We have the ability to enter all the information that we need as somebody who's making a request. So I'm actually going to put something in here. I'm going to say, let's see, RAM issue. And add the time created. At the moment it is 8:49. We'll submit that there. We'll be reaching out shortly. And then we're back to stage 1. Now if you're logging in here as an IT technician, then it'll bring up the place for you to enter your credentials. If you enter the wrong thing here, it's going to tell you to go back and give you the option to try again. If you put in the right name or the right ID and the wrong password, same thing here. Let's make sure we get everything right. And we have everything we need here. Up here on the top we have different tabs. By default it has open all of the requests that are available. Here's all of the open requests for all of the different technicians. Here's all of the completed requests for all of the technicians. What we're looking for is all of our requests here, both completed and not completed. We have the open requests. We see the ones that are here now, and we have completed requests. I'm going to hit sign out. It takes us back here if you want to log in again. We don't want to in this case, and then we can exit out. So let's look behind the scenes here. We have the actual first page that you open up when you pull up the main system here, the hello form, which when you pull it up is the form that you see right here. As soon as we submit a request, we're opening up the actual request form. As soon as we hit exit, we're closing out the application completely. And for IT login, again, we're opening up that login form. Pretty basic here. We have the next form that we will look at. We'll actually look at request form. Let's pull that up, which is this one right here when you're making a request. Behind the scenes here, we have it for when you actually save. It's going to make sure that all the boxes have information, and if they do, it's going to validate everything before it updates. It's going to show that everything is submitted, and then it's going to close everything down. Otherwise, it's going to request you to enter all information for all of the fields. Upon loading, it's going to actually click on the add a new item so that it immediately goes to that page. It's going to actually hide the actual button so you can't just keep on continue adding. And it's going to actually assign a technician to have the call. And then we're going to return to the hello form when we do the back button. And then we have the submit button, which you can also use with enter. The next one we're going to look at is the login form. Behind the scenes here, upon submitting the click button, when you have everything in there, you're actually assigning the different variables. And so this brings up a database form here. We have some flags. We have the holders for user input from the 2 text boxes, indexes to be used down here on these 4 areas, and a variable for converting it into an integer later on. This validates the password. It iterates through a list of the different passwords that we have over here. This goes through all the IDs and makes sure that it lines up with one of those IDs. If they are both valid, then it's going to also check that the indexes line up to make sure that the passwords are for the same username. And then it's actually going to send the ID over to tech ID passer, because this is a static that is used between login form and database form. If nothing works out, it's going to show either invalid password if it's just the password that doesn't line up, or if 2 things are put in wrong, it's going to show that everything was invalid. We'll move on to database form, which is this screen. We're navigating through all of the databases, the database views that you have available. And this is where a technician is going to get all of their information for the requests that they have open and the requests that have been completed. And so we just have several calls to different views down here, which we'll get to in just a moment. But upon saving an item, if there was an update that is made, it just updates the database. Upon loading, it shows just the general, first of all, information for the technician, and then the actual tickets across the board. And these are the 3 events generated for technician specific views here. So open requests, completed requests, and general requests. These are the 3 general views for just all of the general requests that are open, all completed, and all and then we have our listener for the sign out button. Now, when it comes to the actual database, we have an ID slot, full name, and password for the technician. And when it comes to the actual ticket that you're viewing, you have ID, a description, the technician's ID, the requester's name when they're submitting the request, the email address for contact, the notes, the created time, and the completed time, a lot of which are null, and when they are completed, they are marked. And that is the completed form of Help Desk. Thank you very much.